And we're joined by Aaron of When Rivers Meet. How you keeping, mate?
Oh, very well, mate. How's things with you?
Yeah, yeah. Considering the year everyone's had, mate, yeah, it's all right. Can't complain too much. So last time I spoke to you guys, you just dropped the We Fly Free album. Where I've got to be honest
Yeah.
with you, mate, that was one of my favourite releases last year. It
Oh,
just
man.
counted everything.
Awesome.
Discovery of last year for me, you guys, for sure. How you guys been since?
Yeah, really good. I mean, we were just so blown away by the response that we got from the album. You know, it's just like we didn't know what to expect, to be honest. And we put it out for reviews and things like that, and we was like very, very nervous about it because you put it out for everybody. Yeah, yeah. And the reviews have been fantastic. So yeah, we're over the moon, mate. Over the moon.
I bet, man. So like last Friday, you released Walking on the Wire, third single from the album. I'll be honest, as solid as the album is, and I can't think of a weak track on it, so it's hard to say really. But if you did put a gun to my head, I think Walking on the Wire would be my favourite on the album.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
What made you guys choose it for a single then?
We just love it. You know, we love all the songs. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's just like in keeping with the Battleground, which was the first release, and then Did I Break the Law as the second, and then Walking on the Wire as the third. It kind of keeps a momentum going with the same kind of style. I mean, we do deviate slightly on two or three of the songs, but yeah, the next one we release will probably be a slower one, I think. But yeah.
That's cool. So is there a story behind the actual song itself then, or?
There's always stories behind the songs, and there's always double meanings. But no, I mean, I just like people to have their own sort of indent on any song they like. You know, I think what we like to do is to literally write the songs for people to think, wow, I recognise that. I recognise what they're saying and all this sort of thing, and then have their own personal sort of experiences on it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always good, like you say, with an art form like writing music, it's always good to see, or any art form really. I like my wife's an artist, and some of the stuff that she comes out with her pencil portraits and her general artwork. I go, oh, cool, you did this because of that, and she'll just smile at me, and I go, I got that completely wrong, didn't I?
Well, I mean, this is it. I mean, sometimes, like, because I'd write the lyrics and Grace writes the music, and it's just literally a case of we kind of we like to tell stories, but at the same time, it's more about experiences, what we've experienced and things like that. And say I'll come up with the lyrics and things like that, and she'll say, "Oh, well, this is about such and such," and I'm like, not how I wrote it, but if you see it like that, that's cool, you know, because I feel I love it when people do that. It's great.
Like you say, like music or art in any form, really, it's in the eye of the beholder or the ear of the beholder as such, isn't it? When you put songs out there, they're sort of no longer yours in a way; they're everyone else's.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So, how are you guys been doing during lockdown? Have you been doing any writing for anything else, or are you just sort of focusing on promoting the current album? Or?
Yeah, so far, I mean, obviously we've been promoting the album because we released it on November 20th, 2020, and after we released it, sort of December time, we started writing for the next album. So we intend on recording that in the spring. Hopefully, cross fingers, lockdown will be pretty much finished with a bit of luck. Yeah, and we can go back in the studio and get that recorded. So yeah, and then we're going to release that probably September, October time this year.
Oh, sweet. So you're sort of all fired and ready to go on that then?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, as we can't gig and we can't travel and stuff like that, the next best thing is to, write the songs. So
get them all down. That's cool, man. So go back to the single though. The video looked great when that came out on Friday. Was it Friday?
Yeah, Friday. Yeah,
Friday. I was watching it sneakily on lunch break because I went back to the office this week.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, it was filmed sort of here in our town. We had one person doing the actual the video editing and stuff like that, and he brought a drone along as well, and that was really cool. So we added that footage. Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, he bought it specifically for it, to be honest, which was really cool. And we socially distanced everything as much as you can do. I mean, you couldn't go into a room or anything like that as such. So we thought we've got to be outside and we've got to be socially distanced and everything like that. So we're, abiding by the rules. But yeah, we like the video. It's really cool.
Yeah, it came out really well. I thought. I didn't realise that was just all one guy in a drone. That's all.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot more cameras involved, but no, that wicked, man.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you.
No worries. Obviously, as well as the album and promotion and everything else, you guys have been doing your Saturday streams. I tuned in last night. That was another brilliant stream, man.
Oh, cheers, man. Thank you.
No,
yeah,
becoming a bit of a highlight on the weekend. I just chucking it on and watching it while we're sorting things out.
Yeah, again, it's something else we could do. You know, obviously we can't tour or anything like that, so we thought, well, you know, let's just do some live streams. Everyone else was doing it to start with in lockdown. We started doing it in the second week of lockdown, I think it was, and it was a bit weird. Don't get me wrong; it's really weird. It's like singing to your camera, your phone on you know, and we've done it again and then again and again, and we just carried on. And we're coming up to a year now, I think, in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, a year of live streaming. So yeah, so it's going really well. So much so that we started doing a Wednesday morning as well. So for the people in Australia and New Zealand and stuff like that to
cool.
Sort of see us as well. Yeah,
that's cool, man. So the violin that Grace played, I didn't catch it. I only saw it. I had a really cool, beautiful inlay on that violin. Like, where did that come from? Those stunning pieces.
Well, that was made specifically. There's only one person that we know of in the world that makes these like these necks for the violins, and it's in the United States. So we got that shipped over. Loved it. It's great, and it's fretted. You see. So one of the things is when Grace is playing, when we're rocking out, she can't hear it very well. You know, so like monitor wise, she can't hear it very well. So one of the things she's always said, like, you know, what would make it easier for her to do would be to have it fretted, so she doesn't go out of tune. Because as you know, like with violins, no frets, and it's a job to keep it in tune because you've got to do it by ear. But if you can't hear it, you know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. So we thought we'd try and make it as easy as we can, and yeah, so she got it. It came, I think it was last week before. Took it over to Woodbridge, to the violin shop over there. They fitted it, and yeah, so yeah, sounds great. Looks great as well, doesn't it? Love it.
I keep forgetting how close you are to me when you mention places like Woodbridge.
Oh yeah, exactly. I know. We're only down the road, aren't we?
Yeah, not that far away at all. I don't normally get to speak to people who live that close.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
It's good, man.
It's a great area around here in East Anglia. Love it.
It is, especially like I was saying earlier about going for walks and all that, and this when it's nice weather and just soak up. I'm a bit of, despite my lack of hair these days, I'm a bit of an old hippie and gonna go.
Yeah, why not?
Atmosphere.
This is just a wig.
Oh no, I'd never go down that route. Jesus, you can spot. I noticed the wig before I noticed this person underneath it normally.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like with this area, I mean, it's so cool. You've got so many open spaces, haven't you? You can go anywhere, you know, literally, and it's just beautiful around this way. So yeah, we love it.
I must admit, that's the only one good thing about having been in lockdown and not being able to go anywhere is we bought our house 2 years ago. So the first year we were sort of getting it set up. There was a bit of work we wanted to do on it and that kind of thing. And then obviously when the lockdown hit and it was a case of, well, we can't go anywhere, can't go to gigs, which is obviously normally a lot of our social aspects. So it was a case of, you know, chucking on the walking boots and just getting out in the air for a bit and then finding little gems that we've got around our area. So
yeah, for sure. Have you done the walk up at Ipswich, going down past underneath the Orwell Bridge and all around that?
Yeah, we've gone around that
way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful around that way as well. That's where we recorded the album. That's
where
so you go under the bridge. Do you know Shotley at all?
A little bit.
Yeah, so he's down in Shotley, but right on the river. So he's like literally in the middle of it. Yeah, it's brilliant, lovely place, gorgeous.
It's a wicked place to record.
Hey,
that must have been a wicked place to record the album down there.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it was literally just us three, and then Robin came in now and then, but we were socially distanced the whole time, which was really cool. But just to be there, and there's no sound other than the birds singing in the background and stuff, but it's all light. You got all the windows around and stuff like that, 'cause there's an old converted boathouse.
Yeah.
And you see the river as well, because you know you're right on the river. Yeah, it's just such a beautiful place to go and record.
Do you think you'd go back there to record the second album, or
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've already organised it. Yeah, to be honest, we don't really want to go anywhere else, you know, because it's such a beautiful place to do it. Adam's such a brilliant producer. Plus, he plays drums and he does bass, and when he's playing drums and he's playing the bass and the organ and things like that and the piano, he's got his producer head on at the same time. So he's not just like bring in a drummer and do a drum bit and then off you go. He's literally thinking about the whole cohesiveness of the album, you know. So it's really cool.
That's cool, man. That must be one of those things that, like, it's hard to, you know, when you are recording an album, to get that sort of sonical sound. Again, I'm being a hippie, but sonically, an atmosphere in an album. There's certain albums I absolutely adore, and technically not always on point, and not every note is perfect, and not everything is here bang on the beat. But the sound to me is more important than. Don't get me wrong, I love a lot of technical music as well, but my favorite albums tend to be those ones that might be slightly, you know, a technician would come in and go, that's off the half there or whatever, but the feel is more important.
Totally agree with you. I mean, when we done the album, we went in there and we just said we want to try and make it sound live, or pretty much it was live, you know. And we're not fussed about being absolutely, like you say, absolutely on point and all that sort of thing, because we think that like kills it. You know, you got that soul in the songs, and you just got to, if you go and see a band live, you're there in the atmosphere and stuff like that, and that's what we want to get across, and that's what we always want to get across, to be honest.
Definitely. There's another band. I don't know if you have a band called Novahawks, and they just released their album Redemption, and in their sound, in a lot of ways, atmospherically, remind me of you guys. I think it'd be a good pairing if you guys ever did gigs together.
Oh right, I'll look them up.
Yeah, look them up. Novahawks, a mate of mine's band actually. But like you, the sound and the vibe of the thing is more important. It's that organic thing again. And
totally.
And to me, if you get too technical, music becomes that bit sterile, and it's that bit where, don't get me wrong, there's some fantastic technical players out there, and I don't want to slag anyone off.
Oh, absolutely.
But music's got to have heart, and it's got to be breathing, and it's got to be soul. And
I think if you listen to a lot of the early stuff from like Bad Company and Led Zeppelin and people like that, and you think, wow, that is so out of tune, but it sounds so good. You know what I mean? I'm not saying go play out of tune, but just things like that are just, you just got the soul of it, haven't you? Of the songs. I love it. Yeah.
It's like, go back to that live feel that you were saying. You know, you go see a band live, and you know, due to weather or just the atmosphere, it's not always on point. It's not always singing. Sometimes those are the coolest versions you will ever hear of those songs. Totally.
Yeah.
And then there's songs as you play them live, they develop, because you always play something slightly different, and
exactly. Yeah.
And grows as you go along, sort of thing. So
that's right.
No. But speaking of live things, obviously the rumours are that the live music scene is finally going to start turning those cogs and wheels again, as it were. Have you guys got any plans as yet to start hitting the road when we can?
Yeah, I mean, when we started creating a tour, which we're going to do in the spring of next year, we decided to do it then because we thought, we don't know what's going to happen this year. I mean, so the vaccine's being rolled out, or all these vaccines are being rolled out and stuff like that. But I mean, when we started developing the tour, this was a month or two back, we didn't know what was going to happen, and we still don't really know what's going to happen this year. So we thought, rather than try and book anything this year and then possibly have to reschedule, which is a real pain in the neck, we thought, well, let's give it another year and then go out in the spring next year, when hopefully everywhere will be open, and then we can all, you know, don't have to social distance with a bit of luck, because possibly this year it probably still might be social distancing. So again, we don't know. So we thought we'd play it safe. So yeah, so we've got bookings already for spring next year.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah, and then we'll be close to you as well. One or two of the gigs actually. Yeah.
Oh well, I'll definitely come along to those then, man.
Oh, dude, nice one.
Well, no, since like you were saying, the album's got a very live sound to it, and both me and my wife said we want to hear these songs live. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, come and have a beer with us.
Oh, definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely up for that, man. I know what you mean, though, because I host a festival down in Bury St Edmunds called Just Push Play. Cutting a long story short, I lost my dad to cancer 10 years ago.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
Oh, thanks, man. And music was a huge part of our friendship and our relationship. You know, you typically see Aerosmith when I was like 11 years old, and that was me hooked.
I remember you saying, yeah. Oh, what cool dad.
Yeah, oh, man, he was the best.
Nice.
And,
oh, nice.
So it started off mates bands in a pub, 5 years since he passed away, sort of thing, trying to just get a better, raise awareness for the hospice and funds at the same time, and just try and commemorate the 5th anniversary sort of thing. It actually came about because we were throwing our ideas around in the pub one night, basically, of how we could raise money for the hospice, and someone drunkenly said, "Lee, you should organise Live Aid," and I said, "Fuck off." And then I thought, oh, hang on, a gig makes sense.
Yeah,
because of the music sort of thing. Like, my dad played guitar, I played bass, so it was like that thing of
nice.
as soon as my mum was out of the house, the guitars came out and we'd sit and jam and write.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. But I had to obviously reorganise that because it's the last couple of years it's really taken a step up. Like I say, we start off in a pub and mates bands, but like we moved to. Have you been to the Apex in Bury St Edmunds?
I've never actually been there. No.
And that's where we house it now. So it's gone from like a pub, back room of a pub, to Apex, which is just shy of 800 capacity.
Wow, yeah.
So it's grown a lot. I mean, like, we've got Bad Touch on this year. Those Damn Crows are headlining it. So we've got,
right.
Yeah. So and that was bad enough logistically to try and move one show.
Yeah.
So I fully appreciate why you wouldn't have wanted to have to potentially reorganise the whole tour. Because
well, I mean, we've known people that are having to do that, and we're unsigned, as you know.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think we're probably going to stay that way. We know people that are signed that or have managers that are supposedly sorting these tours out for these people, and they're having to do it themselves, and it's just like, and having to do all the legwork, and that's just like that's so harsh. Do you know what I mean? Having to contact all the people and let them down, and then say we've got to reschedule and all the tickets. The situation is just like, wow, that's not something that we wanted to do just for the sake of let's do a gig this year. Let's just wait until next year. So hopefully, cross fingers, like I say, it will be all right.
Yeah, fingers crossed will be all right. I think I've noticed speaking to a lot of bands lately, and because of everything that's going on with the scene, hopefully, like I say, returning, and I think a lot of people are in the same position as you guys, where after last year and having to do that, because obviously no one was expecting, one, for the coronavirus to appear at all, and two, for certainly for as long as it did.
Exactly.
Obviously, people were having to do that last year all the time, but I think people were obviously a bit more cautious as the year rolled on, and like you say, just didn't want to have to redo stuff, and you can't blame anyone for that.
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, for the sake of a few more months,
Exactly. Let's say over a couple more months, and just to go, right, okay, we're definitely right to go on with this now. So
absolutely.
What have you guys got planned for the rest of the year then, mate?
So, like I say, we're going to carry on with doing the live streams every Saturday night, 8 o'clock on Facebook.
Cool.
And then we're doing the Wednesday sessions as well at 10 o'clock in the morning, just a little acoustic half an hour. And then other than that, we're just writing for this new album that we're going to be going into the studio in the spring. And then we'll be releasing that, like I say, probably September, October, November time. So, yeah, that's our year planned anyway.
All fully booked and loaded, mate. All fully booked and loaded.
But, I mean, also, if any festivals come up that we can do or want to do, because apparently some of them are opening up again, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, so there's possibilities there. There's one definite that we're booked in to play later on in the year. I can't say anything at the moment because they haven't announced it yet. But but I mean that's there are possibilities that we might do, but our own actual gigs won't be until the spring the following year, next year.
So did you guys actually get to go out live with the album at all? I don't suppose you did you, with everything that went on? Didn't know if you'd managed.
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, unfortunately, we only tour as a duo, or have done, up until the last lockdown, which was March, wasn't it? Last year, 2020. Yeah. But when we've decided when we come back out of lockdown, we want to go out as a band. So we'll still be a duo. It'll still be just me and Grace, but we'll have a backing band. So we'll have bass, drums, and a keyboard player behind us, kind of thing. And it just gives the whole feeling of the album.
Yeah, just going to lift it up, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Oh, that's cool, man. So have you got your eyes and ears set on bass players and drummers and everyone else then?
We have, yeah. We've got crews lined up, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's cool, man. Oh man, I can't wait for you guys to tour live now. I can't wait for that, especially now this.
Cheers, mate.
So we're going to play "Walking on the Wire" at the beginning of the interview. What song of yours do you want at the end of the interview, mate? To hear it out?
Oh, I think let's do "We Fly Free," which is the last song of the album, which is the very last song we actually wrote. When we went into the studio, we had 12 songs that we were going to record, and there was just one song we just could not work out. It just, for some reason, it was fine when we were at home when we wrote it and everything, but when we were in the studio, we just couldn't get the drums right, we couldn't get the bass right or anything like that, and it just didn't quite fit with the album. So we dropped it. Grace and I said, right, we're going to jump in the van and we're going to go and write another song. So Adam was like, yeah, all right, and kind of thing. Within 2 hours, we come back out with "We Fly Free." So that was it. And and that's right. That's the album done. And that's what it's going to be called, "We Fly Free." Yeah.
Nice. You've always hear those stories though, bands who have had to, for whatever reason, either like yourselves, where a song wasn't working and they had to find another route, or whether they, in the days of the 70s, when they had so many songs that they could squeeze on an album, they went, right, you need to give us one more. And they went, right, okay, well, we better write something. And that's when, Aerosmith wrote "Walk This Way" and Sabbath wrote "Paranoid," and you just,
awesome.
it's always that little bit of magic seems to be when there's,
and sometimes their best song. Yeah,
when the pressure's on. All right, buddy, well, we'll go with that then.
Oh, nice one. Thank you so much.
No, thanks for your time, Aaron, mate. Always good to catch up with you, dude.
You too, buddy. You look after yourself.
You too, and give my best to Grace, mate.
Will do. Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, mate.